They're good because they kind of give you a lot of insight into yourself, and they can really project you forward, you know. Someone that's going to achieve is going to like go so hard on their insecurities.
So insecurities, what you're saying, are opportunities for growth.
Absolutely.
It's Friday.
All right. We've got a guest star appearance, my dog Bregma.
We're hoping he stays quiet because he gets so loud. Because Karen lives in the boardwalk, like near the boardwalk on Venice, the Speedway.
Yeah.
If you guys are familiar with Venice, and a lot of people are just like cycling through on birds, like running around in the Speedway. So Bregma gets excited every time.
It's all good.
So if we pause,
what are we talking about?
That's why.
What's I said to Ayesha I wanted to, after watching our last episode, that I wanted to do follow up on a bit more on like insecurities, and how to transfer them into confidence, and how to kind of sort of embrace your insecurities and lean into them. And
talk more about, insecurity in relation to ego. And I want to dive deep on ego more and get into that, because I think that's a juicy topic. Within insecurities, do you think people try to cover them up? Just because they're embarrassed about them?
Everybody does. I think everybody, like, either runs away from them or there's like three things really. You can either run away from them, you can overcompensate for them, which is obvious, or you can just lean into it and just like, you know, not care, just give zero fucks on it and just be like whatever about it, which is the strongest way to get over it, is to lean into it.
What are examples of that?
Like, say you're not feeling strong about yourself, or you're not feeling like if you're, I saw this really good example was this boy that I coached, and he didn't feel like a man, like he didn't feel strong, he didn't feel, you know, he had a lot of insecurities with his own masculinity, and something that really helped him was like, hey, what does masculinity look like to you? He's like, well, like going to the gym, working out, I want to have muscles, I want to like look fit like a man. Like he was a very meek feminine man. Now it's not that equals being masculine, but in his mind it did. So he started going to the gym and started working out more and becoming like absolutely on that, and now he absolutely has built or replaced that insecurity with confidence just from leaning into it in that area. Doesn't mean that it doesn't show itself up in another way, but he feels better about himself when he, you know, is fit and athletic looking than he does when he's like overweight and just like lazy looking. That's him. Some people, it doesn't matter whether they're fit or athletic, or they're like, all right, this is me right now, that's me right now. But some people get insecure because of that, and that's a way to fix it.
Do you think insecurities are a good thing or a bad thing? Because in that example, it seemed almost like it served him in a positive way.
I think they're a natural thing. It's not a good or a bad. I think everybody has them. Everybody absolutely has them. And, you know, just as who can overcome them, and more, and, you know, who kind of does it. And it's like, you know, to overcome them is to lean in and hang out with them, and, you know, it doesn't mean that they're bad or they're good. Well, I guess they are good because they give you a it's either because, you know, you have insecure because you're feared that you can't achieve that outcome, or that something that you've got that you don't know how to keep it, right? That you're going to lose something that you've already got, so you'll be insecure in that area. There are a few different ways that insecurities will show up in themselves. So it's about seeing where it is and knowing, I feel like, I need it. As soon as you feel yourself doing extra or overcompensating in an area, take a look at that a little closer. But they're good because they kind of give you a lot of insight into yourself, and they can really project you forward, you know. someone that's going to achieve is going to like go so hard on their insecurities. Like an example would be, say you couldn't read growing up, or you had problems with literacy. If you were to become a writer or a journalist, you would probably become one of the best that existed, because you went so hard into that insecurity to make sure that you didn't have that in you, or that you didn't feel it like that.
So insecurities, what you're saying, are opportunities for growth.
Absolutely.
But if you choose to.
If you choose to.
If your mindset is there to choose. So what if someone is just very... They have a lot of insecurities and they're very ashamed by them, or just like held back. How do you switch that to use it as fuel to make you rise up to be the best writer or the most athletic? Like, how do you...
That's one of the things I always love about your questions, is they're so productive, because it's not you don't just talk about, okay, this is this and this is the better. You always want to know like the bridge to get there, the process to get there.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it is all about, and it's like really cool that I get an opportunity to think about that answer, because it's like, for me, like when you're coaching someone, to transition something like an insecurity into a strength, to then allow it to be your confidence, to do that on your own, you need a lot of self-awareness. You need a lot of...
Everything comes back to self-awareness.
It does though. Like, if you're doing it on your own. Like, and honestly, like, to be honest, I'm saying to do it on your own. To do it on your own, a process like that, I don't know the answers. I've always had coaches and really true people in my space giving me a lot of answers and giving me a lot of insight and perspective. And being around children gives you a lot of truth as well. And then you're able to like look at yourself differently, and your flaws are amplified as well, because you see what inside of yourself is just coming out because of your conditioned self, and what's organically you. It's a different delivery. And kids bring that out in you, I think, the most. So to do it on your own, like purely if you're just like rolling out in the world and you're your own, you have to get, hang out with your insides a little bit and write it down and say, okay, what is it that makes me feel insecure? Why does this make me feel a certain way? And why is this limiting me from thinking that I could have every single thing I want in life? Like, I'm worthy of abundance, I'm worthy of perfection, I'm worthy of every single thing I want. What's stopping you from thinking that you can't be like a Donald Trump without being a Donald Trump? Or being, the greatest thing ever. Like, the only thing that's limiting you is your perspective and your effort to put in the energy. So, and the insecurities that are attached to those, they would get looked at through those channels. And so to answer your question, so you would look at those, if you're doing it on your own, you would look at those and see what they are and write them down, and then lean into them. So for example, if something, you could never see yourself standing in front of like thousands of people speaking and talking, like that might be real insecurity for you. You need to go and put yourself out there and do it, like as many times as you can, in all different situations. And if it's something else, like something like me, there are many things that I'm not good at, but one things I'm really not good at is social media and like the whole everything that Ayesha is amazing at. Like knowing, like, the hat, everything like that. It doesn't make me insecure as a person, but when I'm like posting something or when I'm doing something, I definitely feel like, oh, I really don't know what I'm doing here. Like, so I have a second guess of myself. As opposed to if it was something that I'm really strong at, like squash or coaching or something, I would just like know exactly where to go, what to say, boom. I wouldn't even look to second guess.
So you're saying to overcome that, you have to just say, I'm good at this. I'm gonna be a social media guru.
Two ways. It depends. Like me, I have no intention of being a social media guru, and I have more come to the conclusion that I believe as well the best leaders know when to lead and when to follow. So I'm lucky to have Ayesha in my space who tells me what's up, where to go, like da 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 da, and I'm not insecure about it because I'm like, she's my security in that thing, and I don't need social media for me to, I don't feel that that's a contributing part to me being me achieving my goals or my message or my mission. I don't think that me knowing.
What if it was something that like you want? Say you want, like, just play with me. You wanted to be a social media guru. How would you overcome that insecurity of you not knowing how to post, not knowing how to show up? Like, if someone wants to be really fit and athletic and have, like, attract all the ladies because that's what they think getting to that body will bring them, and they're insecure about how they look, how do they overcome it?
Then you just got to do it. Like, you've just got to make the first step. Go get a gym membership. Like, the hardest part about going. So,
but how does someone overcome their insecurity mentally first? Like, the emotional decision, mental decision to overcome and do the action.
Willpower. Comes back to willpower. You have to will yourself forward. It's fear. It doesn't feel good. It's like, it's like vulnerability, stepping and walking into it, right? It's the only way you get to courage is walk through vulnerability. And, you're not going to be like, oh, this is yay. Like, the first few times it's going to feel foreign. And you just got to, like, do it until you get to the point where you start feeling good about yourself, which will be quick. After the first one, you'll feel good about yourself. So hopefully you can use that as, like, habit energy. Yeah. But yeah, it's, putting in that effort, and putting in, or if you're insecure about your looks, things that you can't change, you have an option a lot of these days to, like, fix it, but just don't think that it won't show up in another area. It's like Kylie Jenner always talks about she was really insecure about her lips before she got her lips done. All right, now before she got lip injections, and she's, like, pretty open about it. So it's, doesn't mean that after that she's not going to be insecure in another area. That might make her feel better and she might not feel self-conscious about that, but then it'll show up somewhere else, because insecurity is all different. It shows up in all different ways. So
okay, I just want to ask a fun question about, like, let's go into more of the materialistic kind of insecurities. I know, like, a lot of girls, especially being in the fitness industry, it's really common to get a boob job to, like, place better at competitions, which makes sense because it's like...
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, because when you are so lean, you kind of lose your boobs. So it makes sense that, like,
wow,
to have a better, because they mark you on, like, how well-shaped, well-balanced your physique is. So,
it's so bad that, you know what I think about that industry.
But you kind of I'm viewing it from an impartial point. I'm just trying to say it like a non-biased point, and I want to just get your opinion.
It's difficult because it's like participating in an unhealthy game. If I was to contribute. That's your opinion.
There's people out here.
I mean unhealthy because it doesn't do anything for your confidence. It doesn't do anything to say that what's perfect is for you to get a boob job, to get A+ or ticks or however you win in that competition. So that's unhealthy. So
okay, besides, what if someone, I'm just trying to, like, get back onto insecurity.
Okay.
So if someone wanted a boob job to fulfill that insecurity of them being flat-chested, and then they do that, and then the insecurity is gone, you're saying it'll show up in another area of their life? Yeah,
it's likely. I mean,
what area would that be?
Because if it's the issue isn't the boob job, the issue is body image. The issue is conformity. The issue is, comparison, right? The issue is self-love.
I want to go into this because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it might, I don't want anyone to get upset at, like, Karen's view on this if you are, like, a millennial watching and you're wanting to get your boobs done. Because I have friends,
explain to me what
I have friends who are probably watching this who are, like, investing in that, right? And that's where they want to put their money. And I just want to, like, go in on, like, how you would coach someone on that insecurity, just for fun.
I think that if it's what they feel that they should do, and that's what's going to make them feel better,
but you're saying it's just not going to show up in another way.
I'm saying there's a high potential it's going to show up in another area.
Yeah,
so if it's not your boobs,
it
might be you this, or it might be you that, or whatever. So, like, it's just... Or maybe it's not. There are people where, it's just your boobs and that's it. You don't even look at yourself. But I'm just saying it's more unlikely. If you look at people that have had boob jobs, they're also into, like, what do you call it, with the fillers and, like, all these things that are all going on. And that's normal. Like, it's these days, it's, like, straight normal, especially if you live in LA, to think that I want to look perfect or I want this or I want that. It's cool. But it's like, That's
so what
just one
insecurity
mindset.
is that feeding? Where will it show up
That
in
you
another-
don't look good enough, that you're not good enough, that you're not, people aren't going to like you or engage with you or want to socialize with you or anything like that if you don't have the boob job or you don't have the fillers or all that stuff. And that's
So
not
say,
true.
I'm just gonna play with this. So they got the boobs, because they got the lip injections, those are popular. They got the eyelash extensions. They got the microblading. I'm just naming like all the popular things that I've seen. You're saying they got everything. They look perfect. They wake up. They look so good. To themselves, they feel good. Where's the insecurity? I'm just playing with this.
Okay, so take that scenario, you wake up, you da-da-da-da-da-da. Take the scenario of just waking up, like just washing your face, feeling clean, and being like, alright, I'm good to go for the day. Like without any makeup, with anything, and you feel like amazing, and you don't have like anything on or doing it like that. Like, it's like you don't need those things, like just like doing exactly.
But I want to go back to this person who did all this work.
Okay.
Where's the insecurity gonna show up now?
It could show up in any area. It could show up from clothes or their car that they drive, right? It's endless. Or it could show up in like...
How do you heal that? If they're just like...
You have
okay,
to
if it's the
recognize
clothes,
it first. You have to...
They're gonna get new clothes. They're
Right.
gonna...
It's gonna keep going every... Yeah. So you have to stop, like, and
That's
get
what
off
I'm
it.
saying,
You gotta
how?
get out of the like the mainstream game, and like doesn't heal you. It doesn't aid you. It's not healthy. It's like, you know, it's on some regular.
Yeah, how? I wanna help the people. If anyone's...
Ask me a more direct question.
So like, how do they stop chasing, like getting these things done? Like, okay, then they feel insecure about, oh, my clothes, my shoes are not matching my outfit, and then they go buy some.
You have to force yourself to not to. You've got to go like cold turkey in the sense, and like be able to see, but in a healthy way. You're doing it from a place of you want to. It's not like you're forcing it because someone else says it. It has to come from you directly, because otherwise it won't, you know, it'll be too difficult, but it won't be an organic process. So like if you, for example, were like, you know what, I want to just be able to like be chill. Like I want to be able to eat what I want. I want to wake up when I want. I want to be able to go to the gym when I want, not when I feel like I have to. And you just do what you want all the time. Like even I wake up, what woman really wants to spend 2 hours putting on makeup and spending time? Do you know you get 100 years, how much time you get to live, and you're going to spend like probably 10 years of your 100 years is spent with makeup and beauty? Who wants to spend 10 years of your life doing that? That's not actually fun. It's like maintenance. It's like high maintenance on yourself. Mm-hmm. You're creating for yourself because your perspective is skewed. So, you know, how do you do it? You first say, yo, I don't want to be about this life. That's the first thing. Then you're like, okay, what life? I want to be about this life, which is just the chill, the natural, the what I feel, the do what I want to do in the moment, not what I'm supposed to do in the moment. And with doing what I want to do, you find freedom within it.
I was gonna say, and then if the people around you in your life are making you feel like you need to get this done, because I'm going back to like people I've met and like a lot of their relationship, like friends, I've actually met like girls who their boyfriends pressure them into getting these boob jobs.
Yeah, that's...
So then, would you just say, well, you gotta cut it cold turkey, cut the guy out too, cut the friends?
Nah, you don't have to cut him out, but you have to tell him like, yo, I'm not on what you're on, so if like this isn't like for you, you can like, we are welcome to like look somewhere else or like whatever. Like I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? Like obviously don't do nothing because a man wants you to do it.
Because here, like we were saying, like a lot of people, they have all those things done, a lot of girls, but they all hang out together. So if you were in that friendship group...
That's a good point.
Like, okay, so say, let me just put myself in this, for example. So I don't have any of those done, but say I made, because it's possible, like I'm new here.
You're 23, so you're...
But I'm in that age where like,
you're not in that...
I'm
what?
sorry, so many girls my age have their boobs done, their eyebrows done,
at 23?
their lips done. Yeah, this is like, she's not on social media, so she doesn't really know.
Well, I think it's just I mean, I know like when women get older.
Especially in LA, like there's young girls who have all this stuff. Yeah. Especially when they have like a trust fund and they can get the funds for this. So say I started hanging out with a bunch of girls who just wanted to be my friends. Like, they're like, oh, you're from Toronto, you're new, like, this is something that could happen. So I'm downtown or whatever, and I make this group of friends, and they all have, like, their eyelashes done. Nothing's wrong with that, by the way. I'm just saying, like, they all have that, and then now all of a sudden, let's say I get insecure about it, it's not in my best interest to hang out with those people. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. That's definitely not at all. You'll end up hanging out with nobody. Like, yeah, everyone, each to their own. Everyone can do whatever they want to do in life. Like, and it doesn't mean that you wouldn't be friends with them because they're doing that. Like, absolutely not. It's, you know, it's just recognizing that if you want to be, and you can be on that life too. Like, it doesn't mean that you're bad, or we're just talking about, like.
You're saying it's covering an insecurity, though.
I'm saying that it's syncing with mainstream perspective of perfection, and I don't believe that I see perfection the same way.
I know. I just think that I know, because I have a lot of friends who have done that and like want to get those things done. I just think, like, if it's gonna make you happy and you got the money to spend, do it. Because I'm in I don't want it, but if you want it, do it. Like, it's true. You wake up and you got, like, bomb-ass eyelashes.
And you know what? Here's how to think of it. Even if you think that, oh, maybe later in your life, like, you know, because I see a lot of, like, 60, 70, 80-year-old women, and they all look the same. Because back when they were first doing the surgeries, I guess, like, you know, everyone looks the same. And then by the time you age with all that going on, you look like a product of something, okay? So, but instead of looking at it like, oh, I'm going to end up looking like like that potentially, just see it as enjoying the way that you look now. You know, if you don't enjoy the way that you look and you want to go and get all these surgeries and whatever, go and do it. And then just make sure that once you do it, that you are enjoying it. You are enjoying the substance of what you've done. Like, it's, you know, that's, I think, appreciating what you've done for yourself. Because otherwise, I promise you, you're going to go and get it done and you're not going to be any happier. It's not. It might.
I guess what Karen's saying is make sure, like, if you want to do something like that, the internal reason is just for you only.
Yeah.
Not for external validation or for anyone else. It's solely because you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, because if you're doing it, I mean,
because there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think so. Especially in the way we grow up today. Like, I think it's wrong also, like, to play the other side, for people to be so mean on people who get these things done.
Well, can I stop? Because, like, if you're talking about, like, I can say, like, wrong and right. Like, I hate saying good, bad, wrong, right.
Yeah.
But, like, so if I talk about wrong and right, I would be saying, you know, rightest of right would be, like, because from my observation of life, what the healthiest looking is someone that is completely free of these perfections and completely free of these, like, high standards of living and these goods and bads, and they're free of all those notions. Someone that's free of all those and lives that way is on a healthy, successful mindset for achieving greatness internally and externally, okay? From my observation, that doesn't align as much with that mentality. The mentality of conformity, the mentality of, you know, getting things like, I need this to feel better, boom, I need this to get there, boom, I need this, I need to look like this, I need to eat this, that doesn't look like any of that. That looks like the grind process, the trying to move up process in the world, in that society, in that mainstream way of living. So, you know, you can keep grabbing onto that and you can keep doing that, like, all you want, but it's, you're on one way of living, you're on that same way of living. So it's, and like I said, it's, you can also have both. You can also, if you're aware, you can, like, jump from both. So you can jump from, like, yo, expressive, like, I want to make up, boom, 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 just for, like, because I love it like that. Or, and then you can jump off it for, like, however long. It's just about doing what you want with no emotional attachment or insecurities. You're not doing them out of insecurities or fitting in or any of that. You're just doing it because you're hanging out and you're a human. It's 2018 and we have this to make up and this accessible to us. So why not embrace it, use it, womp, boom. But I'm not, like, attached to it. I'm going to put it down. I can put it down. It's not who I am. It doesn't define me. It's not what I truly am underneath or even truly am, it is something that can make me ideal of society's perfection closer to it.
Yeah, so it goes back to like your mindset, I guess, behind
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, but I think it's important that all girls know that. They don't think that it's like just, especially young girls, like young teens, like we're not trying to say, you know, that it's fine to put makeup and da-da-da if it makes you feel good, because you need to know why. You need to know why that's making you feel good. You need to know why you're gravitating towards doing these things, and know that that's not healthy. Like, you have to be able to know that that's not healthy. But like I said, if you're doing it for a job or for a modeling career or for something like that, you're just doing it and adopting that for the moment. You're not attached to it or need that, or it becomes you.
What would you say to a young girl who is just like growing up in society today and like she sees all this? You had one message to say to her about like internal beauty, or just like owning who you are, and like just being so proud of the being that you are, so like the features you have, and like loving on all that, right?
Yeah.
What would you say to a young girl to make like something that would
Exactly
just like sit with her?
I know exactly what you said. Just like look in the mirror and look at every single thing about yourself and why and how you love it, and be so thankful that you have it, and see it as like a perfection, like you're perfect. Like there's no, the one that's been created in front isn't, that's just one. You're perfection in yourself, and looking at yourself that way, and knowing even if you're like overweight or you're whatever, like you're not overweight, and it's just you're in yourself. Like, this is where I am right now. You might feel like eating less for the next couple of months, you might feel like eating more, like it's all, but when you're happy with yourself, you're more inclined to make healthy decisions for yourself.
Another thing that really sat with me in a book that I read is just like love yourself, even like for all where you're at right now. So like Karen said, like if you're not necessarily happy with your weight, or happy, like you may want to change something about your body, like gain weight, lose weight, whatever, gain more muscle, whatever it is, love yourself for where you're at now, and just be like, I love my, like, I feel like that's self-love. And like that is very powerful, to look at yourself in the mirror and look at the things that you may compare to others, but say like, I love the way like my nose is. Like I love it. It's like, don't like think of it like, oh, it's a little too big. Like, no, love on it. And I think that we don't do that. Like, when's the last time?
You're telling yourself you need to be fixed. Every time you want to get a boob job, or you got an eye or something, you're saying something's not good enough. You're just telling yourself that. So it's because it's like your soul, or your, you know, your spirit, whatever, is being born into this body, right? And this body that you're wearing is beautiful. It's like you with this the whole lifetime. You can do stuff to your body. You can change it, enhance it, make it better. Like, we have that available to us. Better. But that's like working out and going to the gym, right? So like working out, going to the gym, make yourself healthy, make yourself fit. That's a positive thing to do. Okay, but when it becomes like that, if you don't do that, that you don't feel perfect, or that if you don't do that, that you don't feel whole or complete, or you can't even validate yourself as like, you know, a worthy person, then all of a sudden you're like, hang on a second, hang on. You should be able to like go to the gym a month, or not go, or go play basketball, or not, or sit inside, or whatever it is that you want is all good.
Another thing I just want to like go in on about this is that like I think this extends far more than the physical. Like, love yourself. Like, I feel like with some things like we've talked about privately, like with like young, because Karen coaches people who are my age, in their teens, and like they may be like a lesbian or bisexual or gay or straight or whatever, but like loving yourself, don't think like because you're that way, like that's, oh, I'm so upset, like I'm like this because like people are treating you differently or like less than, but like love yourself for being exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Like you were telling me about situations about people who live in environments where it's not accepted. Even though it's like 2018, and like, come on, people, you're listening
Especially
to this. I'm sure you're very accepting. But
I know
like,
what you're talking about.
I know.
Especially in the trans community, like it's very, very. If you're trans, there's a lot, you know, going on with like, you know, gender identification and pronouns and, you know, genitals and like what you want to be identified and not identified, that society haven't caught up on yet, and that you can't expect them to know what makes you feel good. The same way that you love on yourself and the same love that you give to yourself, that's that same ability that you're going to be able to give to others. So yeah, it's just important to not, you know, hold too much value to exterior things that make you feel beautiful or look beautiful.
Amen. Amen to that. Guys, if you're listening to this episode, I want you to do a little exercise. After, if you're listening to this in the car or something, like, do it whenever the next time you face a mirror. I want you to look in the mirror and say, I love you, and name things that you love about yourself. It could be internal things, just like about who you are, your like sexual preference. It could be about like the way your personality is. And then also physical things, like whatever you want. Just say 5 things and really mean it. Like, don't just say it, like sit there with it and just have a moment where you can love on yourself and embrace that and just send yourself that self-love, because we all need it.
Yeah.
And if you guys are watching this and you resonated with the episode, we'd love for you guys to comment or review and let us know what you've liked and what you want to hear more of, and maybe what you don't want to hear more of. We're open to it all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.